Chris Okafor and Doris Ogala. Welcome back to another gist, because I'm going to be talking about these two people, and then Chris Okafor is already married as I'm talking to you guys. I was really getting information on this properly before I said I'm going to come here to share this information with you people. Now, the reason why I said I'm going to come here to share this information with you people only by the time I got full gist about this. So this whole story started when Chris Ogala came to social media. Like, she posted her video on TikTok where she was talking about a man that really disappointed her. So this man happens to be a pastor, and this pastor, his name is Chris Okafor, which is a pastor in Lagos. Now, this lady came on media telling us more about this pastor, and I'm not trying to condemn anybody here. I'm trying to tell you guys how she was saying it. And then she was also saying that this man has dated many girls in the church. Let me put it that way. He has dated many girls in the church, and then he has had an affair with so many girls in his church, because this pastor has a church in Lagos where he's ruling as a head pastor, and then many other people are still under him. But he's a very popular pastor, which is also doing some other businesses, allegedly, according to this lady. So this Doris Ogala happened to be a married woman who has been in marriage for a long time with her husband, and then she met a pastor named Pastor Chris Okafor. When they started dating, this lady revealed to us that she has been sending her pictures, you know what I'm talking about, her WhatsApp pictures, to this pastor. And then she has shared her pictures, her personal pictures, with this pastor for a long time, even as she's still in marriage, and then nobody was aware of it. She graduated to a point that she had to leave her husband entirely for this pastor. She started doing too much by getting stuffs for this pastor's children, because the pastor already has children, according to her. She was buying gifts for his children. He was doing a lot of things. She was assisting this pastor, when even to a point this pastor had a case with government. And then this lady really came through for him, because on that day the pastor was calling her time to time, calling her almost every minute. Yes, let me put it that way, because when you have problems, you are in pressure, you need help, you know how that person will be calling you back to back, non-stop. So this man called non-stop, back to back, and then by the time she picked up and then came for this guy, he met the guy, and then they had a conversation that the government is already looking for this pastor. And then he was like, how am I going to come out of this problem? So it happens to be that the lady already have contact in government, which she made calls. People started coming for this matter, and then by the time the police officers that were sent to arrest the man, they were told to move back, which is EFCC, not even police. They were told to move back, and then this matter was settled. By the time this matter was settled, though, Doris and Chris already had a conversation, and they agreed that Doris was going to pay her up to 10 million naira. And that is for a particular reason, not even only for this case. So by the time this whole matter was going on, this EFCC people that was sent to bring the pastor was already sent back, because of the calls that Doris did initially. And then Chris decided that he's not going to get that money into her account, which, as they agreed, he had an agreement with Doris, and then he now breached that agreement. That didn't even lead to all this matter that is going very viral online now. It didn't even bring that matter. That is not even what brought the outbreak of this issue online. What really brought the outbreak is that as they were having issues, Doris was in her house when she got information that Chris was about to get married. That is when this lady came to the media to pour out her pain, to pour out how she was feeling about this. She poured out everything she felt. and everything that went on between this Pastor Chris and Doris. But even as this matter was going on, the pastor is now using this topic as a preaching. The pastor is using this topic as a topic for preaching in the church. But I'm coming to that one. So these two started having issues and disagreement was really escalating. To a point, Doris had to take videos of her, putting it on media where she was explaining to us everything that went on between her and Chris. And then her question is, how am I supposed to cope? Because I've already left my husband, and now I left my husband because of you. Now, how am I supposed to cope? How am I supposed to move on? How am I supposed to live without you? Because all my life I've built it around you. All my doors, all my everything, earnings, I've spent all on you. I've done everything with you. I've already built my world around you. And now you have come out to betray me. But let's not call it betrayal, because the man also has his own statement to make. Though I'm still coming to what the man said. So Doris was online spreading news about this Pastor Chris Okafor. So this man didn't say a word until he was done with his marriage. This man went ahead to get married. But before I talk about what the man said, Doris said this man has ruined her life, and that for that reason he's going to settle her. And she mentioned that her lawyer is already writing some things about this man and what she wants to get from the man. But guess what happened though? She said that she's asking for a house, a car, and money from this pastor. Now, you'll be asking for a car, money, house from a pastor when we have not even heard the side of the story from this man, right? Even if the court is going to judge the matter, we still have to hear from the pastor. So by the time all this noise was going on, Chris went ahead to get married to the woman his heart was beating for. But in this case, I feel like crying for this Doris, because how can she be online expressing how she's feeling? She was in so much how am I going to put it? She was so desperate to get married to this man, and then all of a sudden he just turned off the light on this woman, and now she's feeling like a leftover. Of course, she's a leftover, right? I'm not calling her a leftover, but that is what it's looking like. The pastor was done with her, and then he left her for another person to continue. Now the question here is, if you are a man, are you going to marry a woman that has already left her husband for you? So when the marriage happened, the proposal happened and it spread online. That was how Doris got the information that Chris is getting married anytime soon. We didn't even know that proposal is just to tell us that they are getting married in 1 week, because it wasn't even up to 1 week. These two were dead in church. They got married. We saw pictures. We saw everything online. And people were not asking questions. How will this man get married upon all the noise going on social media? Doris is telling us stories upon stories, and then you still went ahead to get married. Then now let me come to what the man said. After all the marriage is done, the man is now certain that he's now married to who his heart wants. Now he now have to come and talk about Doris. Now let me still bring your mind back that even pastors chase crowds. Yes. They still want to trend online. They still want people to hear about them. They still want to know, if they are still on the lips of people. Of course, this is the right time to talk about Doris, because now he's done with his marriage and nobody is going to be an obstruction to his marriage, because he has already gotten rid of Doris and now he wants to focus on his marriage. And then he has already achieved his marriage and now he's ready to talk about Doris. But no, tell me, you people should tell me that this is not a game that this pastor is playing. Because what is this? What is this? This lady is pointing out how she's feeling, and then you are so less concerned. Anyways, so after the marriage happened, Pastor Chris Okafor was doing a preaching in the church where he explained to us how this lady had been so arrogant, disrespectful. She is not submissive. She is not humble. In his words, he said all this. I cannot be able to put that video here because of the algorithm, whatever. So, but I'm telling you guys, everything he said in his words, he said that the woman is not submissive. Now, that brings me to the question. If she's not submissive, she's not loyal, she's not humble, she's not this, she's not that, why didn't you leave her in the initial time you found out she has all these qualities which you don't like? Because there are men who love arrogant women. Yes, I'll put it that way, because why I said it is there are men who are so quiet, but they want a woman who has eyes so open like this. But in this case now, the man said, I don't want a woman who is so disrespectful, who is arrogant and is not submissive. And he also mentioned that before you become a wife and a man will marry you or engage, you have to start behaving like a wife already. You have to show us that you have a wife quality which is going to attract a man to you, not just a man but a husband. I mean, I agree with that one. I agree. Before you want to enter into somebody's house, you have to show us that you are ready. But aside that one, Goody, how did you not keep her when you know you are not ready to marry her? You don't want to be with her, but you decided to keep her and waste her time. But he also stated that this lady was the one that helped him when he has EFCC case in Nigeria. Now, everyone is now asking question, how is this lady able to have a contact of the head person of EFCC when Pastor Chris Okafor mentioned that her father has no name? And we all know that in Nigeria, before you can be able to have that strong contact, is either you have money, you have influence, or you must come from a rich home. Your family must have a name before you will have contact in high levels. But now, Doris is not even coming from a rich home. She doesn't even have a rich uncle, not even a rich husband. How did you not get those kind of contacts? So this brought the man to thinking that Doris is a woman for the public. Of course, because even you and I will ask that question. How is she not able to have those contacts? But I'm saying all this allegedly because I don't know how she's able to get those contacts. Yes, she's a woman. She can work. Maybe her work is giving her contact to people. She's working. She's an exposed woman. She travels. At least she's making her money. She is still possible that she can get her contact while working with people. So it's possible. And I'm not seeing that as a good reason for leaving her, except for the reason that the man mentioned she's not submissive. Yes, now he's married to a woman who he thinks is very submissive to him. But Doris is on the media now. She's so disappointed. She doesn't even know where to go to, how to start, or what to do, because all these things have really ended in tears for her. And now, if you are her auntie, uncle, mother, brother, father, what advice are you going to give to Doris? Are you going to tell her to carry on with this case in the court? Or are you going to tell her to quit this case in the court? Or are you going to tell her to just forget about all that happened and move on with her life? Because in this whole case is so complicated. Now, why I said it's so complicated, because they are not going to tell you everything that happened between them on social media. The both of them knows exactly what transpired between them, and you don't expect them to say everything on social media. Doris is so bent on putting out the worst part of Pastor Chris on social media so that everyone is going to see him as a bad person. And Chris is also on the same page so that everyone will see Doris as a bad person, and then vindicating himself from the mouth of people and what people are saying. But anyways, I've come to the end of this story. This happened in Nigeria. And this lady named Doris Ogala is also from Nigeria. While Chris Okafor is also from Nigeria. He's now married to his lovely wife. And now what are we going to do about this? Even VDM is on this matter, trying to see what he can do. I'll keep you guys updated on more stories like this, information and things happening around the world. Don't go anywhere. Subscribe to my channel. Tell me what you know about this story or what you think Doris should do about this case in the comment section. And do well to share this video to others. I'll see you guys in my next video.